Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple of kooky, crazy kids in love that love reacting to some Death Battle.
Yes, we do.
And so this is a Death Battle, Lilo versus Stitch. Or no, it's Lilo versus Stitch. Stitch versus Rocket Raccoon. I hope Lilo versus Stitch would happen. I say that because we watched Lilo versus Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. I want them to fight. I want Lilo and Stitch to fight. We watched Lilo and Stitch. We're going to have that reaction coming out for you as well. But yeah, so we wanted to check out that before we checked out Stitch versus Rocket Raccoon, because as I said from our last Death Battle, I was going to have a bias for Rocket.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have a bias for both.
You can't have a bias for both.
I
It
do.
doesn't work that way.
I can't
Then you don't have a
it.
bias. If you want all of our Death Battle reactions, check out the description of this video. Really quickly, Bethany's going to explain how we do Death Battle on this channel.
Yeah, so if you've watched any of our death battles, you know that we like to place bets on who the winner is going to be. So what we have is Monopoly money.
Yep.
Because to make the bets extra interesting this year, we're actually placing a dollar amount on who we think the winner is going to be. And then, whichever one of us has the most money to our name by Thanksgiving, we'll choose our cosplay outfits for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Right now, Bethany has 305 and I have 270. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Mint Mobile. Stitch, Disney's Extraordinary Experiment 626.
Rocket, Marvel's murderous mercenary mustelid. Those are like weasels and ferrets and raccoons. You know, because he's a...
Just because you're cute and fluffy doesn't mean you aren't the deadliest thing in the universe.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the distant reaches of outer space, the mad scientist Jumbo Jukiba was accused of illegal genetic experimentation.
He took the galaxy's most fearsome, most dangerous, most absolutely purely black-hearted evil creatures and smushed them all together.
A great man with a vision, persecuted by spineless know-nothing bureaucrats.
The result? Experiment 626, though you can just call him Stitch.
He did not.
I think oh, so naughty. After being slated for termination, Stitch escapes to a distant planet, Earth. Oh wait, Earth.
Crash landing in the Hawaiian island of Kauai.
Likes
of all
coconut cake and
places.
coffee.
There he'd be adopted by the Earth girl Lilo and went incognito as the ugliest dog ever.
Despite his horrific upbringing, Stitch found he had a softer side, a love of Elvis, and a kinship with Lilo, a devil child who didn't fit in, just like him. It wasn't long before Stitch was ready to do anything to protect his new Ohana from the alien threats coming to get him.
And let me tell you, as a fellow mad scientist, Jumbo really outdid himself here. I've been meaning to dig deeper into Stitch's piecemeal alien biology for years. First of all, his fluffy exterior is entirely bulletproof, fireproof, and nearly impenetrable.
Oh, this comes with a catch. His molecular structure is so dense, he can't swim. Sucks he landed in Hawaii of all places.
Stitch can crawl on walls, hear a whisper from miles away, and scream so loud he'll blow you to kingdom come.
He's strong enough to lift 3,000 times his own body weight and can spin dash so fast he'll burst into flames.
His eyesight is also incredible. He's got night, X-ray, and infrared vision, and can even zoom in hundreds of times over.
Even better, he can hawk loogies like a friggin' machine gun. His spit is conductive enough to short-circuit electronics, stick objects together like glue, and even dissolve solid rock. Oh, and he's somehow a genius too. The dude knows molecular physics and can build entire mech suits and spaceships out of junk in seconds.
You wouldn't think it from his everything, but Stitch is a genius with a brain comparable to a supercomputer. The world's most powerful supercomputer right now is Hewlett-Packard's Frontier, which can make 1 quintillion calculations a second.
Comparing Stitch to Frontier is frankly a massive lowball.
See, Stitch was programmed to have Jumba's own intelligence, and Jumba's IQ has been compared to that of an entire galaxy combined.
I've conducted my own genetic analysis to determine Stitch's alien progenitors. His DNA includes traces of the manglioid of Meridian 4, the goo goblin booger beast,
Goo
the
goblin.
people-eating pus monkey, the deadly disemboweler, the boiling tongue-oid, and the bottom-feeding scum sucker.
Sounds like your ex-wife. Am I right?
No,
Oh.
Wiz, what the hell? That's such a messed up thing to say about her. Be better.
I'm so disappointed in you.
You can make those jokes when you start paying the alimony.
Well, Stitch's incredible buffet of alien DNA is supported by a power cell embedded in his body, fueled by the energy of 2 colliding planets. Huh? Colliding planets! Are you coming back? No?
You.
Okay.
He's got a jetpack, freeze ray, grenades, and a Seismotronic 200, which can make sandwiches gigantic. Oh, and shrink enemies. That's cool too.
Stitch was a one-fluff army, and he proved it when everyone from the Galactic Federation to the dastardly Dr. Hamsterville came to pick a fight with him.
Including
Dr.
all
Hamster
of
Wheel.
Jumba's experiments. Yeah, 626 isn't just some random number. There are hundreds of these little bastards running around. More trouble-making cousins to add to his growing ohana.
Though he had to pacify many of them first, like Slushy, who can create a snowstorm that covered all of Kauai.
Or
my
Richter,
God.
who can split the Earth in half and shatter planet-busting asteroids.
And Jumba stated that Stitch was the most destructive, unstoppable monster the universe has ever seen. Even more dangerous than Holio, who can create a black hole large enough to consume the entire universe.
Holy
Speaking of
shit.
black holes, in the anime, yes, there's a Lilo and Stitch anime. Stitch once piloted a ship carrying a supernova bomb, strong enough to wipe out a galaxy, and flew it into a black hole. It and the black hole both exploded on top of him, and he popped out no worse for the wear. You know, like you do.
Another time, he piloted a ship to a different black hole in less than 2 minutes. It's unclear exactly how far this was, but the average distance between stars is about 5 light years.
That means his ship would have had to have been flying at over 1 million times the speed of light.
And when he's filled with love for his ohana, the power cell inside Stitch surges incalculably. He used this to defeat Dark End, an experiment explicitly made to be stronger than Stitch, who had just defeated 4 Stitch clones on his own.
And Stitch completely annihilated him. He knocked Dark End into outer space so
Nice.
hard he dislodged a city-sized space station. You know, like you do.
He's even managed to worm his way into completely different Disney properties.
Oh God, we don't have another Deadpool on our hands, do we?
With Stitch around, Lilo, Nani, and the inhabitants of Earth couldn't be safer.
Surf's up for everyone's favorite blue fuzzball of death. Somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota, there was a young boy named Rocky Raccoon.
Rocket, not Rocky. That's the Beatles song he's named after.
Well, I have wasted a lot of time on some very specific research.
In fact, it's just Rocket. Despite his startling resemblance to the resourceful dumpster diving mammal, Rocket originates from the alien planet Half-World, which served as an asylum for the criminally insane ruled over by alien humanoids.
Along with many of Half-World's cutesy inhabitants, Rocket was subjected to cybergenetic modifications by his overlords.
All with the purpose of being Half-World's warden, Ranger Rocket.
Rocket's mutations make him smarter, stronger, faster, and tougher than your average garbage goblin.
His cybernetic
Garbage
skeleton is
goblin.
connected to artificial vertebrae and neural implants, allowing him to dodge gunfire and laser beams, survive an explosion the size of a city block, and keep up with supervillains like Kraven and Venom.
Alongside pals Lila the Otter and Walrus the... Yeah, Rocket battled the mercenary Blackjack O'Hare and killer clowns and saved the day time and time again. I bet you're wondering what the hell this has to do with Guardians of the Galaxy.
In a convoluted editorial effort to reboot his character, Rocket left Half-World to become a mercenary and had his memories suppressed. After a betrayal by his otter lover, a different one, he has a thing for otters, Rocket was sent to jail. Space jail.
And prison changes a man. Gunn was the Saturday morning cartoon character of yore. He was a felon, cynical and hardened by the criminal justice system. The space criminal justice system.
Rocket suffered not only from his penal servitude, but the trauma of his brutal genetic modifications and a lingering sense of alienation. It was in this personal hell where he'd meet a bunch of a-holes who would soon be his new teammates. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and of course, his best pal Groot.
And together they were the Guardians of the Galaxy, defending the free peoples of the cosmos from all manner of alien menace. For a price, of course. Though unlike some of the powerhouses on his team, Rocket's raccoon body
I
is...
told you he's not a raccoon. He was created on Half-World and is the last of an entire race of raccoon-like aliens. He just happens to look like an Earth raccoon.
Don't lecture me on raccoons, Wiz. I'm an expert. Been fighting the bastards for years. Did you know their tiny little bandit masks are for reducing glare to enhance night vision? They can hear noises as quiet as earthworms digging underground.
Wow.
And about 2/3 of the sensory perception part of their cerebral cortex is devoted to their tactile impulses.
Those are the fattest raccoons I've ever seen in my life.
Tiny little hands.
All perfectly suited to a nimble, stealthy glass cannon like Rocket.
Yeah, 'cause he's a raccoon.
As I was saying, Rocket became the team's resident grease monkey, specializing in all things technology and engineering. And fittingly, his specialty in combat is firearms.
Yep, that sounds like my cue, Wiz. Rocket's built giant mechs, cobbled together random junk for an improvised flamethrower, and casually slapped together a bomb strong enough to destroy a moon. Oh, and he's got every kind of hand cannon imaginable. Pistols, machine guns, miniguns, rifles, rocket launchers, plasma guns, laser guns, and my favorite, the melon popper, where melon means head and pop means...
That melon belonged to a Super Skrull, one of the deadliest warriors in the Marvel Universe. With the combined abilities of the Fantastic Four, including the Thing, who survived a blast from the power cosmic that could split a planet in two.
Yeah, Rocket's weapons are crazy, like the Rampart armed phasic cannon, which utilizes cold fusion and could melt the face off the Mad Titan himself, Thanos.
The same Thanos who is strong enough to survive a supermassive black hole 4 light years across, and came out with only light scratches.
The very same Purple Shrek who's battled universe busters and beyond like Thor, Hulk, and Odin. If Thanos can walk through attacks from a dude who can shake the multiverse and Rocket's guns can hurt him, I'm gonna need one of those puppies under my pillow ASAP.
And similar weaponry to what Rocket's used can operate down to the picosecond, which is 1/trillionth of a second.
He can access all of these goodies at any time from his orbital stash, a remote-controlled satellite that'll deliver anything he wants lickety-split.
Rocket can zoom through the sky on his rocket
Convenient.
skates, project force fields, teleport with a portable AI, melt through solid metal with acid, and even hack foreign technology.
Anything from a prison to a planet to an entire galactic empire. Rocket's the most dangerous not raccoon who's totally a raccoon in the whole universe.
And he's proven it with the Guardians. He's saved Earth at least 11 times, cured Ego the Living Planet of a lice infestation, and held his own against an entire world trying to kill him all at once.
He even devised a plan that ultimately stopped Dormammu, the Lord of the friggin' Dark Dimension.
Wow.
No wonder Star-Lord called Rocket the greatest tactical mind he's ever met, even if sometimes he has a tendency to run in guns blazing.
Though he'd always be a wisecracking son of a bitch, his time with the Guardians softened his edges. He learned to enjoy life again, and even made it back to Half-World to send that bastard Blackjack O'Hare packing.
And even though he clearly is one, whatever you do, don't call him a raccoon, because there's nowhere in the galaxy to hide from this gun-toting mother flarker.
Not gonna lie. I was slightly distracted by Bucky trying to eat everything in sight. So I feel I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I didn't pay close enough attention
Okay.
to all the details.
Okay.
I will be happy whoever wins. So I feel like they're setting up Rocket to be the choice of winner.
Mm.
So I'm going to put 5 on Stitch.
It did seem like they talked up Rocket a lot, like, but they talked about like who Rocket faced and like all these like people that Rocket took on, and like Rocket was able to like, you know, take on Thanos. But then like they talked about how much of a badass Thanos was, and you know, they talked about how he took on the Super Skrull, and then talked about like, you know, what Thing, you know, how Thing took a blast from the power cosmic and everything. But they also called Rocket a glass cannon, so like I think he's like fairly fragile, and I feel like Stitch is more durable. And plus, Stitch survived like a black hole and like collapsing on him. And yeah, so I feel like they talked about Rocket like a little bit too much as well. I want Rocket to win, but I'm gonna bet 20 on Stitch.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I was even gonna go higher, but no, I'm gonna go 20 on Stitch. You got 5 on Stitch?
I got 5 on Stitch.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
You know, you love Death Battle, Bucky. You cannot fight my...
Oh, cool world.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to space. Hey, it was a guy with
The sunburn.
Yeah.
Did he have mint chocolate
Yep.
chip ice cream?
Yeah, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Good. Oh, he's never gonna be able to eat it.
You smashed my ship, Flark Face! What did you say about my mother? You disgust me.
Ooh. Okay, this is a fun matchup. Oh!
Ow.
Nice.
That's it. Gonna need a bigger gun.
Oh.
Come to Papa. I guess you could call this my Thanos Buster. It's hunting season now, Buzzball.
Damn.
Oh, Stitch.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yep. In the water. That's it. It's done.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh! Oh, nice.
We took out the sunburn dude.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh, and he ate his ice cream.
Double
Insult to
KO!
injury.
You know,
Yeah.
brutally murdering Ice Cream Guy wasn't necessary, Wiz, but I felt it was an artful touch.
Though similar in many ways, Stitch and Rocket's fighting styles were polar opposites.
Stitch was more than strong enough to tear Rocket apart physically, while Rocket's guns were powerful enough to kill people even stronger than Stitch. So the question was simple. If both of them only needed one hit to win, who would get the killing blow first?
It all came down to speed. Rocket has dodged lasers and his guns could operate down to the picosecond, 1/trillionth of a second.
But Stitch's supercomputer brain could operate down to the quintillionth of a second, a million times faster, at minimum.
And his ability to pilot that ship at over 1,000,000 times the speed of light meant that he more than had the reaction speed to dodge anything Rocket threw at him.
Rocket's tactical brilliance meant he could keep Stitch at bay with tricks for a while, but he couldn't reliably seal the deal. Despite being a little blue goblin, Stitch usually stays level-headed in a fight, whereas Rocket can be way more impulsive.
And frankly, Stitch is probably even smarter considering he has the combined IQ of an entire galaxy.
One slip up from Rocket is all Stitch would need to end the fight.
Rocket's arsenal was absolutely bonkers to
Why
be
is
sure,
Davy
but Stitch's
Crockett hat
superior
on?
speed, physical
know.
strength, and unbelievable intelligence gave him the win.
Looks like this Rocket's blasting off again!
The winner is... What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, there's a f***ing turkey here too! Where's he gonna leave the turkey behind?
See who they get
Thanks
next.
for watching. Stay tuned. We have a new Death Battle releasing every 2 weeks this year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra content. Planet level members even see Death Battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Vader? Nice.
Yeah.
And somebody I don't know.
Who's that person?
Anime person? Vader versus Obito.
Obito. Okay.
Okay. Cool. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find
We'll
out.
find out who it is. We definitely have a bias going into that one.
we have a little raptor who's sitting in my lap during all this.
That was quite an enjoyable fight. And even when Rocket died, like I thought I was gonna be sad when Rocket died. But like they just made it a lot of fun. And like seeing just Rocket like throw all his entire arsenal at Stitch and Stitch just kind of like take a beating over and over again. But then keep coming back was just a blast to see.
Yeah, I love how they leaned into the humor of both characters. And they really kept it lighthearted. And I wasn't sure how they were, like, I really wasn't sure how this was going to look or feel with the animation because what I know of Rocket from Marvel's live action Guardians of the Galaxy and then Lilo Stitch, of course, being animation, I was like, I wonder where they're going to go with the visual presentation of this. But I thought the world that they chose to have this battle on was awesome. I love that Suntan guy or Sunburn guy was there. How he still will never get his mint chocolate chip ice cream. Beginning to end, this was just very enjoyable.
So I caught up a little bit.
I know, you're catching up.
I caught up
now.
a little bit. I now have 290 and then you have 310. So we both won some money, but yeah, I went a little bit bigger on Stitch.
You closed the gap.
I closed the gap a little bit. You know, I'm just one big bet away from getting back in there. But then this is what happens. I close the gap, and then all of a sudden I go on a losing streak, or I bet big. Yeah, and then it does not pan out. But I've been good. I've been on a little bit of a heater. I've been picking well. If you want all of our Death Battle reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. And as well as a link to our Patreon. We can get early ad-free access to our reactions. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Death Battle Lilo versus Stitch. I wanted to say it again. Stitch versus Rocket Raccoon, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.